Let me give you a little bit more about my background. I worked for Apple from 1983 to 1987. I was Apple's software evangelist, so it was my job to convince people to write Mac software. This meant that I worked in the Macintosh division, which meant that I worked for Steve Jobs, which meant that, let's just say I had a very interesting career. He was not an easy person to work for, but he definitely got the best results out of people. And so I learned a lot from him. Back then, the Macintosh division was probably the largest collection of egomaniacs in the history of California. And we held that record until last year when Facebook broke it, but we held it for a good 30 years. Just to show you what bad people we were, back then the company was the Apple division and the Mac division. The Apple division was shipping boatloads of Apple's IIs and making tons of money. The Macintosh division was still in R&D, so we were burning money. So if you looked at the Apple P&L, the P was Apple II and the L was Macintosh. And yet we would not let people into the Macintosh division building. So if you can imagine, and if you ever become a CEO, don't ever let this happen where one part of your company cannot go into the other part of the company. That is not good for morale. And then especially after the Apple II, people figured out that they were paying for the building they weren't being let into. As you can imagine, that really pissed them off, and quite logically so. So they came up with a great joke. I love to tell this joke. Great joke about the Mac division, which is how many Macintosh division employees does it take to screw in a light bulb? The answer is one. The Macintosh division employee holds up the light bulb and expects the universe to revolve around him. There's a Microsoft version of this joke, and the Microsoft version is how many Microsoft employees does it take to screw in a light bulb? And the answer is none, because Bill Gates has declared darkness the new standard. You're early in your careers. I'm kind of late in my career. I started in technology at about 1983. And so for about 25 or 30 years, I watched high-tech speakers. And I'll tell you, with the rare exception of Steve Jobs, most high-tech speakers have two salient qualities. First, they suck as speakers. And the second quality is they go long. And that is a really ironic and dangerous combination. Because if you suck and your speech is short, it's okay. And if your speech is long and you're great, it's okay. But if you suck and go long, that's like being stupid and arrogant. It's just not a good combination. And so what I did early in my career is I embraced the top 10 formats. I always use a top 10 format for my speeches. But I have to tell you, this is a speech I have never given before. And so I just realized that I forgot to put numbers on my top 10 points. So, but there are 10 points tonight. And the reason why I use the top 10 format is that in case you think I suck, you know approximately how much longer I'll suck. Because I have 10 points for you. So.